It was only a few weeks ago when Sydney Sweeney, despite months and months worth of backlash from woke freaks online and the mainstream media, got asked a question very specifically about the American Eagle ad gene controversy. You know, the one that made American Eagle stock shoot up through the sky, the one that increased sales for them, the one that was massively popular, the Sydney Sweeney has great genes campaign, the one that a small, tiny, insignificant number of people were screaming really loudly about because they said that Sydney Sweeney has great genes is somehow akin to Nazism. Yeah, that controversy. And Sydney Sweeney refused to bend the knee. She refused to give in and refused to give this activist reporter the answers that she was looking for. Well, a lot of things can change in a month, and apparently Sydney Sweeney is now ready to get down on her knees to beg for forgiveness from Hollywood and the mainstream media. Sydney Sweeney says, "I'm against hate," and reconsiders staying quiet on American Eagle genes controversy. "My silence has only widened the divide." Is this going to work out for Sydney Sweeney? Here's the thing. Sydney Sweeney did a gene ad, did absolutely nothing wrong, and got labeled a white supremacist and a Nazi for it. And then she was asked about it, and she says, "Look, I'm not going to really engage these questions. When I have something to say, I'll speak about it." And continued by the very same people to get called that very same thing. Do you think that now that you come out and say this, all those people are going to welcome you back with open arms and say, "You know what, Sydney, you're awesome now. Don't worry about it, babe. You're totally cool"? No, it's not going to work that way because it never works that way. Yet Sydney Sweeney or her publicist or somebody has decided that they need to try to turn this around for her. And just keep in mind, this is what she said about a month ago.
Criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just want
to... And if you are one of the people that felt that's what that ad was saying, you're a fucking retard. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's just what you are.
To give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Well, now she's ready to speak out about it. So Sydney Sweeney speaks on her American Eagle ad campaign. This is from People magazine, I think, where she did the interview. "I was honestly surprised by the reaction," Sweeney tells People. "I did it because I love the jeans and I love the brand. I don't support the views some people chose to connect to the campaign. Many have assigned motives and labels to me that just aren't true." Sweeney tells People she's someone who leads with kindness and that she's addressing the campaign backlash to clarify her stance and dispel the negativity. "Anyone who knows that I'm always going to try to bring people together. I'm against hate and divisiveness. In the past, my stance has been never to respond to negative or positive press, but recently, I've come to realize that my silence regarding this issue has only widened the divide, not closed it. So I hope this new year brings more focus on what connects us instead of divides us." Let's look at this statement. Okay, I'm a good person. I lead with kindness. I don't stand for hate and divisiveness. I don't stand for this. The only people that were pushing that thing are the leftist freaks that are trying to cancel you, right? They are the ones that prescribed some type of oh, well, this means this. This means white supremacy. It's just not the fucking case. But this is all in an effort to, I guess, win her some brownie points with the powers that be. Win her some brownie points with the press. Win her some brownie points with these left fucking freakazoids out there, right? These pronoun in bio weirdos. And do you think it's going to work? Do we think that the people who have said that Sydney Sweeney is this, and this, Sydney Sweeney's a bigot, Sydney Sweeney's a homophobe, Sydney Sweeney hates gay people, right? Despite all the evidence to the contrary, despite everything that she's done, the work that she's done, despite her going to the GLAAD Awards, these are the things she got labeled. Okay? Do you think that this is going to do anything? Let's check. Right? Where was this weeks ago? Mind you, this is her a month ago regarding the same ad when she refused to say shit about shit. I see PR for Euphoria finally kicked in. She's not fooling anybody. Too late, boo. You kind of weird. This has 100,000 likes, by the way. Right? This does not matter. And that's why bending the knee and apologizing will never work. Now, maybe your PR firm wants you to do this. Maybe this thing wants you to do this. Maybe you ascribe the bombing of your lesbian boxer movie to this, to not apologizing for this. They think it's going to bomb anyway. Nobody was going to go see that anyway. I hate to break it to you. So now you're in a situation for Sydney Sweeney where the people who, because you did an ad for jeans, who are calling you a Nazi, they don't care. They're not going to believe this. They're not going to believe you. But now you also have a different group of people who would have had your back and would have supported you that are now going to be rethinking that. And that's why when it comes to bending the knee to bullshit cancel campaigns like this, it's never going to work. Unfortunately, it's never going to work. And look, all along the way, throughout this entire Sydney Sweeney controversy, non-controversy, whatever it's been, I've said one thing. I think that oftentimes when we see a celebrity that says something that we think is common sense or we think maybe aligns with us on this or that, I think a lot of people on our side of the internet have a tendency to think that, oh, they believe everything I do. She's totally beige. She's MAGA all the way. She's this, she's that. And I think people really set themselves up for failure. If you start praising Sydney Sweeney as this super based MAGA queen, right? And like obviously the memes went viral after that interview on both spectrums of the internet, on the right, on the left, for completely different reasons. But when you start ascribing, you feel like this person is going to represent all of my beliefs with anyone, let alone someone in the entertainment industry, you let alone a young woman in the entertainment industry, I don't think... I just think you're setting yourself up to be let down in a big way, right? Because regardless of whether Sydney Sweeney's a registered Republican or not, regardless of whether she has one take like this or one take like that, or whatever you think her family's politics are, if you start assuming all these things that haven't been said by that person, in all likelihood, eventually you're going to find out that maybe that person doesn't hold all those same beliefs you thought they did. I think you take people with what it is on the specific topic at hand. And when it comes to not bending the knee to a cancel culture campaign, when it comes to not giving in to the press, I think there's a lot of stuff you can sit there and be like, yeah, that's good. I want more of that from the people in Hollywood, not bending the knee. But this is what Sydney Sweeney has decided to do. And I'm sure there's a lot of pressure. I'm sure there's a lot of pressure in Hollywood when you don't toe the line like they want you to get you to do something like this. But regardless of how much pressure there is and why this happened and why it's happening now, maybe because of Euphoria, maybe because they feel it impacted the box office, whatever the reason, this is a mistake. Because these freaks, these degenerates, these pronouns in bios weirdos who saw a Sydney Sweeney has great genes ad and said she's a Nazi, they are never going to support you because you put out a clarifying statement. Just not going to happen. But what do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.